Hey, you guys. Good morning. Is it still morning? No, it's afternoon. Here, I need that. He's got to get into Shannon's phone. So, welcome. It's Monday afternoon, and we're here with Shannon
Reinholdt.
And Shannon. And I've been talking for the last, 25 minutes. That's not true. I've been talking. And Shannon's talked a little, but I've been running on like I do. And she's so cool and so interesting. And James and Shannon are friends. And Shannon's involved with a ton of stuff. And we're going to talk about those things today. And she has a lifetime of experience and is just about to set off on a whole new journey of being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm so glad that you came. We usually talk a little bit if I'm going to spend some time with people or anybody, just so that we know what we can and can't talk about. And everything that they say that I can't talk about, I always do.
I feel comfortable with that.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
let's see what happens.
So obviously we found out in the last little while there's a whole lot more to talk about than Cirque du Nuit,
Mm-hmm.
But you're part of Cirque du Nuit, Circus of the Night, since day one.
Since day one,
And you were there one night, and one of the founders said, "Hey, let's do this."
Yeah. I used to work at a company called Era Creative, and the owner of the company was Jay Bento, and we were just talking about how we wanted to go to events, but there was nothing really entertaining to go to. We wanted something that had music and dancing, but more culture to it. And there was 4 of us sitting at a table, and that's when he mentioned, "Hey, I have this vision for this night circus, and you guys want to be a part of it?" And when he explained it to us, all of us were like, "Yes, of course! Let's be a part of this."
So you never done costume before then? I mean,
I used to make my own costumes for different shows I'd go to. I always really enjoyed dressing up, and Halloween was always one of my favorite holidays because I get to dress up. My thing was, I love embodying a character and becoming that character, and I always felt like Halloween once a year was only the opportunity to do it.
Not enough.
Not enough, no. And that was the great thing about Cirque du Nuit. It was finally an opportunity to be a character and embody that character to the point where Halloween would come around and the excitement wasn't there as much, but it was because I was having this opportunity to always kind of play that role once in a while.
So what character, do you have different characters in Cirque?
Well, the first show that you said that you went to, which was at Dickens Pub, I, just for fun, ended up dressing up as a clown. But the clown back in the kind of vintage circus days was not necessarily what you imagine, like the creepy clown from the 80s. It was more like the clown was the entertainer, the trickster, the diversion in between acts. The clown was always out there to kind of distract the crowd as there was a set change. And I really liked that. I liked the idea of just kind of being that
some of that
weird character coming around.
Impromptu too, wouldn't it? Some of it would be, you just make it up on the fly?
Yeah, and that's the fun part.
Yes.
And my favorite part is playing with people in the crowd, maybe playing a little trick on them, or maybe a little magic trick on them, and then when they get to that point, wait, what's going on? And then you kind of take off. That moment I love. That moment of sparking interest, getting them in that moment of curiosity, and then just kind of
leaving them hanging.
leaving them hanging with it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of how my character ended up starting, as I just dressed up, and then kind of went from there.
Have a name?
Phoenix Amore. Yeah.
Phoenix Amore, I love that.
I thought of it because my character is always something different every time, so I feel like there's this constant rebirth of my character depending on the show and the theme. And then just the love of that. Yeah, so I thought just putting the two together, and that's how I came up with Phoenix Amore.
Amore is love.
It's love, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you this year? Are you the same similar character?
I'm a white queen this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so our show is on April 6th at the Palace, and my character is the white queen, and she's the embodying actual life and presence of Mother Earth, which really suits it because I'll be doing some dancing and I'll be dancing with my little pregnant belly. So it ended up working out really well this year.
Beautiful. When do you do?
August 6th.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have a group of belly dancers at the hip, and I'm joining them for a belly dancing number. So it'll be neat to...
You have a real belly.
Belly dance with it, yeah. And it's amazing, like belly dancing with a little bit of a baby bump looks so cool.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, the belly rolls are really emphasized. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, first of all, on your continued involvement with Cirque, and then on becoming a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an adventure.
It always is an adventure, yeah. And my adventure with Cirque has just been absolutely magical.
So 2 shows a year?
We are now thinking about doing 1 big signature show a year. We were doing 2. But so much time and effort and building goes into each show because we do all of our own stage set production and design and build. Like we have a build team. We're just working on Sunday where we get together and we help build some of the props, right? So everything you guys see there is everything that we've made. So it takes a lot of time and effort. So
do you have a big shop somewhere where everything gets done?
Yeah.
Somebody's garage?
No, it's a warehouse. Yeah, it's an art studio. Yeah, so we finally have a place that we get to work and build these things where it used to be people's backyards or we were storing things in garages and we had a storage unit. So now that we're growing and our props are growing, and they're getting bigger. They really are. We're building like life-size plants this show, like as tall as I am, if not taller. So, yeah, it's great to have a place where we can store everything.
So the Palace has a big enough stage.
Yeah, and that's one of the
key.
Reasons why we love this venue so much is because they do have a stage and it's a raised stage. So no matter where you are in the venue, you actually get to watch the show, which has been nice because we've been at some other venues, which have also been really great for hosting us, but it can be difficult to see the stage.
I remember the little stage at Dickens.
Yeah.
You know. Really
yeah, once you're back a certain amount of rows and there's someone tall in front of you, unfortunately you don't get to see everything.
Yes.
I think the Palace has a really great venue where you have like the raised stage and the dance floors below, and then you have another tier upstairs where the VIP gets to sit, so they get to enjoy the show. And yeah, I think it's a really great venue for us.
See, I've been in that up in the what we would call the VIP area, and for me, it's too far away. Like I love that shows being right in as close to the action as possible. You know, and to because you can taste it. And when you're, And
it serves everybody. I think that's the other thing is, like, if you like being in the crowd, you can be in the crowd with everybody. If you feel like it's a little too much and makes you a little anxious, and, there's always somewhere to go and be more comfortable, but you still get to enjoy the show, where you're not really forced to be on the dance floor with everybody the whole time.
How many people will come?
Well, the venue, I believe, can hold up to 1,500 people.
Oh my gosh.
I believe. I could be wrong.
But you've sold out the VIP sections, haven't you?
Yeah, yes. We have. Depending on the size of our props sometimes, that actually takes up a little bit of our capacity. So we do have to incorporate that in. We're like, okay, if we're making a huge stage or we're building, because sometimes we like to build these little pockets of surprises too throughout the venue.
Nice.
You might not just all be on the stage. We'll have like a little bit of pieces here
Something
and
going
there.
on over here and there.
Yeah, we do have a little surprise this time that we're working on. Yeah.
I think I should go.
You guys should come.
I don't have tickets yet, but I think we should go. We'll come. We'll organize.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came because I love the idea. What I think, you can tell me, the times I've been, I felt like it was coming, the show was coming, not as a performance, it was coming as a gift. It was like these were, many times there's people on that stage that I know, and they're there really giving their heart. It's like a love show.
It is. And everybody that's involved, we're involved in it because we're really passionate. We're all very creative people. And for me, I know it's one of my biggest creative outlets, because Cirque de la Nuit, we choose a theme and we get to work within that theme, but it's always like very open. Like, how do we want to create it? What do we want to create? And how does that fit? And it's neat because sometimes we all have different little visions, and the day of the show, we realize it all came together so well, like this cohesive, collaborative.
Yeah. So the context would be the theme, or the theme would be, what's the theme of this show? Again,
it's like down the rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
Kind of theme.
Well,
yeah.
I just talked to you about going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You can find scary stuff or inspiring stuff down the rabbit hole, and depending on how attached we are to holding on to our old idea of life.
Yeah, so it's kind of based on the story through the looking glass.
Yes.
And kind of those kind of concepts and theories, but it's our own circus twist and interpretation on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So an adventure.
It is, yeah. And again, everybody is open to interpretation, so there's each person on our team right now is kind of creating something to go within that theme. I've been really fortunate. I've had a animation I've worked really hard on, and we're bringing it to the show, and it's a projection that's going to go on my skirt. And it's going to be really...
A projection?
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful, but I also have a group of people with me, and it's going to be a very beautiful piece.
Nice.
I hope I was allowed to share that. I don't know if that's supposed to be a surprise or not, but yeah, I'm really proud of this piece. I spent hours and hours and hours on it, and to bring it to life again is going to be, it's just such an incredible opportunity for me to be a part of it.
Nice. And
to be offered and asked to be a part of this show.
There's some, I understand, some entertainers or some people coming from away, like
we always have a group
guests?
of headliners, or special guests that come in to be a part of the show, and we always pick them for a reason and on purpose. And we'll reach out to them, and we've been really fortunate to have some of these headliners.
Do you know who's coming?
Yes.
Can you remember? Can you tell us?
Well, one of my favorites I'm really excited for is Feature Cast. Yeah, he's going to bring some really great music. We have Freak Motif.
Yes.
They're always a really great band. We've had them before with us, and they're just awesome. They're just like
we had somebody from Freak Motif, Deanna spoke here. What's her name? Motley.
Oh, Deanne Matley.
Yes.
So she's
sorry, Deanne.
Yeah, I've known her for quite a few years. She's actually one of our, I would like to say, head honcho's sister. So, yeah, she has such a magical voice, and it's great to have her on the stage with us again. Yeah.
Well, I've known Deanne. She and I've been connected through. I've been involved with a men's group for a long, long time, and she's been involved with the women on the women's side of this. The group Family of Women it's called, and she came and talked to us about International Women's Day before it happened, which was just a couple of weeks ago, and she's amazing, and she shared a little bit of her music with us, and I think we linked her music in, and so she's been with Freak Motif for a while, and have they always been part of the show?
I know Freak Motif brings people in. Like, I know Deanne Matley as a solo artist.
Okay.
So if they're performing together for this, I know like Freak Motif is very...
Oh, it's collaborative sometimes.
Collaborative,
you don't know who's going to end up being on the stage.
I know they're...
Because it's a Freak Motif.
Yeah, it's Freak Motif.
We have no idea.
Well, every time I've seen them, like sometimes they'll have 8 and they can be 12, so it's really neat. They're kind of a collective of...
Amy Thiessen also.
Is Amy going to be on with them as well? Is she? Do you know Amy?
Yeah. I did a show with her before, back
She's
2 years ago, I guess now, Ethoterra.
Yes.
And she's one of our singers in Ethoterra.
Well, she's doing a thing here on the 5th, like a kirtan, in this store, like in the back. We'll have 30 or 40 people come, and it's call and response, but it's also Amy sharing consciousness, in helping people, helping to lift the vibration of the planet. That's her purpose.
Yeah, she's such a lovely person.
Isn't she great?
I love being in her presence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she's really beautiful.
I know you'll be busy on the 5th, probably getting ready for the 6th. But
Yeah, we have a full dress rehearsal on the 5th.
no way.
Yeah.
So you actually take the theater for the whole weekend?
We do the dress rehearsal at a different studio.
Okay.
The reason why we haven't on the 5th is because a lot of the people who are out of town will be here, so we have the opportunity to get everybody together and then just do
Hang
that
out.
big rehearsal.
Yeah.
Myself, I have a rehearsal on Tuesday and probably a couple more times before we all get together. Because
Nice.
we have different parts of the show that we're a part of, so we got to make sure that we get those well done and cleared out and
Nice.
put together. And then once we do the group rehearsal, the big one, everyone should have their pieces nailed down. Just making sure that everything flows really well.
Oh, is this where I go?
Yeah.
And who's directing? Like, who is there? One person directing, or is there who choreography is the whole thing? Who, is there one person that's kind of?
It's a collective.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a collective. I would say, like, if I would allowed to say this, Kelly Matley has been a huge person in Cirque du Nuit right now, and she's been really helping organizing and put all this together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know Kelly, but
you'll have to bring her in.
I'd love
She's
to.
really the person to talk to about Cirque.
Is she?
Yeah.
Can you help us do that?
Absolutely, I can connect you guys.
Because I mean, it would be great to, I'm thrilled that you're here. I actually, after we spent some time chatting, I hardly wanted to talk about Cirque. I want to talk about your life and about where you work and what you do, and about putting your hands in the soil, being a gardener, and all of those things. But I like. I also wanted, part of why we wanted you to come is to support this show. To let people know that they can go and be part of this. This is a community event. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say, like, everybody has to at least experience it once. And usually if you experience it once, you want to come back again.
Yeah, it is a community event. It's not like some show that came into town to entertain us. This is people from our town, who, from our city, who have created this amazing show.
Yeah.
And so that's how I look at it. And I think it's really exciting that we have all this talent here, and that, you guys pull it all together to have a party.
Have you guys ever done, like, a group interview? Because I would say, like, if you really wanted to get deep into Cirque, it'd be Kelly Matley, Paul Magnuson, and then we have Sarah Bento, but she is in Toronto, so she'd probably be here around Thursday, Friday, right before the show.
If you could help us put that together, that would be so cool.
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
Or all of them. It would be fun. And
Kelly's been there since the very beginning as well. She's the one that was sitting around that table with us. So.
I wonder if I know her.
It's Deanne's sister.
Yes.
There's that connection there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, eh? Yeah, I'd love that. So we'll work on that after, and I think, we'll put a link on this too for, so people can buy tickets.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it should be, the place should be packed, and we're gonna go. Are we gonna go? Are you gonna go? We'll go. Yeah.
I'd love to see you guys there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
You won't be disappointed, for sure.
Of course not.
We've been putting a ton of time and effort into this.
It's not only you guys in the show, but there'd be so much of our community there. I'll know, 100 people.
I bet.
Which will be fun. I love people.
And that's what I love about our shows is there's just so many people that we end up knowing and saying hi to. And yeah.
So, can I ask you a couple of questions about you? So, you told me that you're fourth generation Calgarian?
I am, yeah.
Wow.
So my great-grandfather came to Calgary in 1885, and we've been in Calgary ever since, and that's on my mother's side. And then on my father's side, my grandma came here when she was quite young as well. I'm not sure how old she was, but she's been, her family's been here for a long time too.
And she's still alive.
Yeah.
And grandma, is she going to watch, I'll bet? I hope she watches,
so.
Yeah.
She actually just started learning how to be on Facebook, yeah.
Great.
I'm so proud of her. She is a technology guru for her age. She loves texting. She'll email. She's on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah, she's not afraid to.
How old's Grandma?
She is 88.
Oh, she's young.
Grandma, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. It's 87, 88.
87, 88. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? 88's like the new 60.
Oh, she's doing amazing. She is one of the most incredible women I know. She's somebody I look up to, and she is so much into her health. Like, she had her 3rd hip surgery, and she was having a little bit of a rough time with that for about a year, but she never gave up, and she's very much like, I'm not taking any pharmaceutical drugs or painkillers. She was actually considering that.
CBD.
She went in for a little consultation with her doctor about it. But yeah, she kept going to the chiropractor, her physio. She was using all sorts of natural supplements and herbs.
She's a trooper.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, everything became really good for her, and she actually went to Mexico for a month and just came back. And
So
she was at that point where she's like, oh, I'm never going to travel again.
Oh.
And then she recovered, and she's like, all right, off to Mexico. So yeah, she's someone I definitely look up to, and she's always been into health and eating well, and
Nice.
very inspirational in that sense. Like even as a kid, I remember dessert was always a piece of fruit. It wasn't, cookies or cake or any of that. So she believed in nature's candy.
Nature's candy. Is that what you call it?
That's what I like to call it.
Yeah,
Nature's
nice.
candy. Yeah.
Good. And so did she have a garden?
She did. Yeah, she's always had a garden in her backyard
Does
since
she
I
still
can
have a
remember.
garden?
Yeah, I am in charge of it now.
You're the chief gardener.
Yeah.
Well, some of us
So
might
she
have to
always-
come and help this year. You're going to be
I would love the
baby
help.
making. You're going to be baby making this year, right?
Yeah.
In August, if you have this beautiful boy.
Yeah. Well, my family's been
I just
really
made that up.
good. Yeah. He'll be here on August 6th, so it'll be a little bit harder to garden. But my family's always been really great. Like, she still loves to get in there and help. My dad gets in there and helps. Me and my husband will go there and help
How big's
her
your
out.
garden? Like, Renfrew, right?
Yeah.
There's good soil up there.
We took up about a quarter of her lot.
Nice.
I expanded it a bit.
Yeah.
We just had some extra soil, so kind of just been growing it and expanding it. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good, decent size. And then we have a house in Acadia, and I've kind of made a little garden plot for that there.
Nice.
And I've been really fortunate as well. My uncle has some property out in BC, so we go and visit him, and he's given us a little piece of property out there to grow garden on. So lots of food, lots of
You've
delicious
studied
food.
what we were talking about earlier, not horticulture, but
Permaculture.
Permaculture,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
I took my permaculture course with Kim Chi a few years ago, and I've always been really inspired by a course like growing food and being passionate about it. And the one beautiful thing about permaculture is it's beyond just growing food in your backyard. It's about how do you live inside your home? How do you live outside your home? How do you live within your community? How do you bring community together? How do you bring people together? It's kind of like this all-encompassing lifestyle, really, than it more so is about just growing some plants.
We had my youngest son went to for a number of years to Waldorf, to the Waldorf school, Rudolf Steiner's. Have you heard of Waldorf?
Yeah, I had a
Yes.
friend that sent her daughter there. That was so neat that kind of school even exists in Calgary.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
and Steiner was a big permaculture guy, and Steiner, whose writings the Waldorf School came out of. In a lot of countries they call it Steiner School, and so that's where I learned a little bit about permaculture, and I've seen them mixing big broths of stuff that go, and using deer horns to plant stuff in the ground. You can bring back pieces of land that have been totally gone almost to desert with permaculture. There's some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, there's been some people doing really amazing things throughout the world and even in Calgary here. Yeah, there's been some really passionate projects occurring.
Do you know Paul Hughes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do know Paul?
A little bit.
Yeah, and they're all about Grow Calgary and
Yeah, that was the one thing I was just going to mention, is
Oh,
like how
okay.
these, like, there's these different little plots that have been vacant, and then they're
Yeah.
going in and deciding, hey, why not grow food, and then we'll donate it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
homeless shelters. It's amazing, like,
Mhm.
those people get to eat good, wholesome food.
Mhm. I remember I went, I think I was in Seattle, to see Bruce Springsteen. You know Bruce, the boss. Bruce Springsteen, and he gave this big talk in the middle of his show about inner city gardens. And he was like, our future's in inner city gardens, and he's a bit of an activist. And it was interesting because I think he's right. We could do a lot with inner city gardens. And do you like, of course, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing for me is I love living in the city. I
Mhm.
just feel like there's so much opportunity. And for me, one of my things that makes me feel rich in life is the people around me and the community and my family.
Mhm.
And so the idea of going off on a far vacant land, yes, it's beautiful, and I like that as like the escape, I guess, but I still feel like we can bring so much of that into our city and bring that kind of lifestyle into our city. One of my favorite things to explore is the idea and the notion of vertical farming. Like, how can you grow the most amount of food in the smallest amount of space?
Yeah.
And maybe that's where things go, because like a lot of our new neighborhoods and our new developments barely have backyards, so people don't see that growing a garden is even possible. And I hear that all the time, like, oh, I can't grow a garden, it's too much work, or I can't grow food because I don't have the space. So I think it's totally possible, and it's about exploring different ways of growing food nowadays. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a section of land on the ground. Like, why not use that space vertically?
I agree. I think it's the future.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I really do. Importing, food from, from California or Mexico, with all the cost of transportation and the damage to the planet because of our transporting food. I think it within 10 years it'll be done.
And it's really alarming too, because I was watching a really good TED Talk, and they're talking about the nutrition in food, and they're saying an apple in the grocery store, because it's being stored for about 11 months before it even gets to the grocery store floor, and the gases they're using to preserve that food, that by the time it hits the grocery store floor, it's just basically empty carbs. Sugar and carbs, the nutrients has disappeared, the enzymes have disappeared. And I've noticed a lot of people getting stomach problems and stomach issues, and I'm like really thinking, I'm like, well, maybe that has so much to do with our food, because we don't have the proper enzymes to digest it because the enzymes are gone. And people are feeling lethargic and tired, probably because we're not getting the proper nutrients, because the nutrients is no longer in our food. So I think the more we can grow local, the fresher it is, and the more chance that we have the opportunity to have those essential nutrients.
I think it's a given.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's a given. That a friend of mine was just here, Sean Fillion, and you met Sean, and Sean's looking at growing root vegetables in not hydroponically, but vertically.
In a vertical farm,
Yeah.
which I'm very impressed with, because
Yeah.
I've tried, when I lived in an apartment, I tried vertical gardens, and it was very difficult for me to grow anything that wasn't anything other than like a leafy vegetable, root vegetable, because the roots really like it cold and dark.
Yeah. Well, he's doing
So
it.
I'd love to see what he's doing. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Me too.
I'm glad to have met
he
him.
started talking to me about it maybe 2 years ago. So it's been a real transition to make this happen. But I think it's our future. And I've always, when I've talked to people about it, because I like to talk about vertical gardening, and I think that mostly I've always excluded the possibility of root, of carrots or beets or potatoes being grown. And he's looking at growing, did you say ginger? No, it's ginger. No, not me. Won't be me. I missed the boat on Mars. But I was watching Elon last night, and and they're the whole thing with SpaceX and what they're going to do, and how they're going to have us there, literally within 10 years, that we're going to have our first people living on Mars.
I'm finding that very incredible. And what I hope with all of this discovery of like how to live on Mars, I really hope that they share that information
Well,
and bring it on Earth here, because obviously
Elon's so open book. All his stuff's open source. So he's, I think that's a fact.
that's one thing I really appreciate about him. But like a lot of this stuff that NASA's coming up with, I hope like, hey, we can bring this technology and have it here on Earth, and we can help people eat better, be better, feel better.
He's partnered with NASA, and they're closely partnered, which to me I think lifts the vibration of NASA in a way. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. I think that Elon brings a higher vibration to that organization, and he was going to Mars with or without them.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that someone like him is around right now to kind of like make all of this happen and to make things open source, because he recognizes that as a collective we can really make things happen. When you're owning something in and you're not sharing it, it's not really growing it. And it's kind of like, to me, that's a sense of greediness doesn't really help anybody out. So if you're more willing to share what you got going on,
pitter patter. I totally agree.
The vibration can change.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah.
So, do you meditate?
I've been getting into meditation.
Yes?
Yes.
Are you sometimes a reluctant meditator?
I am. Yes. I am. The idea of meditation is always coming up to me all the time. And I'm always telling myself, I should meditate more. And I'm getting into it more, I think, just because I'm more conscious of, I'm carrying a child now, like I'm bearing a new human life, and I don't want to bring that stress on to that person. And so when I'm at work and I'm feeling a bit stressed out, on my lunch breaks, I usually go to the gym, and there's this little room I can put myself into, and I'll do like a 10-minute, maybe 15-minute meditation, and then I go into my workout. And it really hit me one day, because this one day I was quite worked up about something, and I could just feel my whole body kind of vibrate and shake. And I did take that time in that space to go and just kind of calm myself down. And I was like, I should do this more often.
Nice.
It is very helpful. Well, but I find meditation for me has come in so many different ways. Like, I've had some really incredible experiences in drum circles and drum healing and meditation, and having like outer body experiences with that. Or even dancing. I find like you get to the point of like this rhythm in the dance where you just become so present and so aware.
Do you go to Circles of Rhythm ever on Friday night?
Yeah, that's where I've had my
really
interesting and incredible drum meditations.
So Julian, who's leading that now, was here Friday. We interviewed him here. And did you see that interview?
I didn't see that interview. I'm going to have to watch that one.
Yeah. And I haven't gone. I used to go when Judy Atkinson was running. I've been a few times, but drumming's really cool. They do a drum cradle thing where, and I don't know exactly how it goes, but we did it at WUB, W-U-B, WUBU.
I've never heard that.
We had an event. It's really cool. You love it. It's a love event, but he calls it WUB, and with all kinds of, like Trevor Yellick doing breath work, and somebody else doing Alice Hong doing yoga, and it's a whole day, a long day of personal development stuff, consciousness work, and some of the drumming is a big part of it, and it was really good. And that's kind of where we met Julian. Do you know Julian? He's the guy that,
Yeah, I think I've been to one of the drum circles when he's been facilitating it.
Yes, and he bought the Circles of Rhythm from Judy. Judy, I think, did it for a long time, Judy Atkinson, and so drumming I think can be a meditation. But I want to say I have a thing about that. I think that because I did this myself for a lot. I used to say, I have a Harley Davidson. I'd love to ride my bike, and I used to say, well, I meditate on my bike. Well, actually, that's not true. But I used to think that, and I do get into the zone on my bike. I do kind of disappear, but I do also need to stay here, and sometimes. So what happens is I get really present on my bike, like here and now, right here. I can't be in my head thinking about yesterday or tomorrow or upset about what she said or whatever, because I'm flying. But I don't really think, in my opinion, I don't think that's real meditation, you know, or we do ecstatic dance, and sometimes in ecstatic dance I can get so present that it feels like I've dropped into the space, you know. But it's I think I think we really do need to sit, you know, like have a practice, and so that we're, you know, even if it's 10 minutes. You know what they said to the guy who said he was too busy to meditate for an hour or half an hour? The guy who said he was too busy to meditate for half an hour, they told him, well, then I guess you'll have to meditate for an hour. And
I feel like that's me. I'm
yes.
like, I'm too busy to meditate for an hour.
So, well, then you'll have to meditate for 2. I'm just kidding. But but that's my thing. I think that if we don't take even 10 minutes, because 10 minutes will do it in the morning to sit. It's a self-care thing. It's honoring ourselves. It's, you know, it's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just finished the book, The Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks, and they say that in there, like, just taking 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough.
We love Abraham Hicks.
Just to get going, but the 10, 15 minutes a day just to get started.
Yes, and drop into that
keep
space.
Doing that. And I'm like, I feel for an average person, 10 to 15 minutes is doable.
Yes.
You know, and then once you start getting into the rhythm of things, taking a little deeper.
So one of the consciousness pieces that comes, I think, is that we start to recognize, if we're meditating every day for 10 minutes, that we are not our minds. Because so often we're operating from our mind, you know, trying to figure everything out, trying to control everything, try to organize everything, you know, judging right and wrong and good and bad. You know, we're always here in that mind that's been programmed, often by unconscious people in a way, you know, programmed from a place of fear or a place of lack, and so we're operating from that mind. If we can drop down into that you know, that place that can hardly be described, the emptiness, the openness, in meditation for 10 minutes, then we see, oh, I'm not my mind. There's something else, and we connect with that something else, and then we have a feeling of wellness, and oneness, and so I think that's important, and I think it lifts the vibration of you and the baby and your family and your extended family, and you know, you become the spiritual center of that family, or you could be, when we do it. So that's my thing, and I don't want to tell people that they have to meditate. You know, I would like to inspire people to meditate, and on a kind of a, you know, daily basis, and
I feel like I'm meant to be here to hear this.
And I mean,
well,
I'm not trying to put this on you, you know. Like I think that, you know what I mean. I think that some of us come to meditation out of desperation because our lives are falling apart and we're really in trouble, or I think that lots of folks can be inspired. Yeah. To say, well, okay, I could be, if I access that place every day, I can actually come from there more quickly, you know, and drop into that emptiness.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is I've been really exploring and thinking about the power of intentions, and even being here today, and some of the people that you've introduced me to while just being here before this segment has all come together because of the power of intentions, and even like through my intentions after finishing this book and hearing more about the 10 to 15 minute of meditation. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I should meditate more, and yeah, I want to. And now being here with you, it's just kind of enforcing that thought and that intention of mine, of so like being introduced to this. So it's going to make it a lot.
Can I ask you to say something?
I would say easier.
So let's say I'm going to, instead of I want to. I'm going to. Are you going to meditate?
Yeah. I am going to meditate.
All
actually.
Right. 10 minutes a day. And you know, 10 minutes is actually. Can I tell you a little story?
Absolutely.
I do this
what if I said no?
Just
kidding. Go for it.
I would be like, holy shit, where do I go from here? I would. Hi there. Good. I was married to this wonderful woman once, and she, she was amazing, and she encouraged me around meditation because I've always struggled with it. Even though I've kind of started around 1980 to meditate. Some dates me a bit, but I was married to Sheila in 92, 93, 94, and she had her PhD in psychology. She was a doctor, a psychologist, and she used to teach her clients to meditate. She was a kind of a spiritually based psychologist, and she was very cool. And and I remember she used to have her little tissue box on the table, and when she'd have clients in, and there was a sign on it that said, "Feel it," feel. She helped people get in their feelings. But anyway, she started me with a clock, and that was before cell phones, and it goes back a ways. And she started me with a clock, and I could set the timer on the clock, and she started me at 3 minutes for meditation. She'd say, we'll set the timer, 3 minutes, then. And so if you're looking at meditating, if you do it with a timer, then we don't have to think about how long have I been here. And you can actually drop in, and that's what I started at 3 minutes. And I could just stop and let it happen, and then the little bell would go off, and I'd be back. And so it's a 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. If we do the timer, we can let go of that. Mm-hmm. We don't have to think about, or gee, wonder what time it is, come out and look at our clock. And, so everybody has a cell phone now, they can just set their timer. Anyway, that's my tip. And Sheila taught me that years ago, and it kind of works for me.
That's what I've been doing when I've been meditating at work. It's just, I have to put on the timer because I have to make sure I don't go over my time. But yeah, it does help you get into that space where you don't have to worry about it, because it's being taken care of. You'll be disconnected when you're supposed to
at
be.
A reasonably big corporation, right?
Yeah.
And how would we bring meditation into a company like that? Is there an interest? Does the owners of that company, we won't say who that is, if the owners of that company, do they have an interest in the well-being of the people that work there?
I believe so.
Okay, now
absolutely.
We can say who they are then.
Yeah.
So do you think that the owners of that company would be interested in, if they're meditating, would they see the benefit that people would be more productive, people would be, more there, and there's a lot of benefits, and we're kind of, because we want to bring, we're bringing meditation to people's homes and to their work, and we think it's something that could be done at work as well, but we're not sure how to approach it. And anyway, you could tell me that offline, but it's just not specifically. But you think we just go knock on the door and say, "Hey, we want to come teach your people to meditate"?
I think so.
Do you?
Might as well come in and give it a try.
Yeah.
I don't see the harm in it, and I think in the workspace it would be really beneficial for people. Yeah, because people are stressed out every day, and if we could have like a 10, 15-minute break to to kind of get centered and to calm down. And what I notice is that a lot of people don't take breaks. We just work all the way through. And I know I've been in that space where I even will work through my breaks just to try to get something done, or depending on what I need to get done. Or
so kind of project driven, and you got to get this thing done. And
I guess it's for myself though, because I'm working on the computer. I'm doing graphic design, animation, video, whatever it is. Sometimes you just get in the groove of it, and you just kind of end up working through. And before you know it, you're like, I've actually worked through my morning and afternoon already. Yeah, but I think meditation is really powerful once you get into it. I think the hardest part is getting started, and that really helps to have that guidance. I know for myself, it's always been really difficult to get into because, again, I'm like, where do I start? I've tried those apps or those YouTube videos you get to listen to, but often I don't find like it resonates with me or it really connects with me. Yeah.
There's a couple of good apps, so Calm, and there are some good apps. I think they've made a difference on the planet around that type of thing. So we talked about synchronicity and shit happening.
Yeah.
And
my favorite thing.
And intention and purpose. I think that the conversation we had earlier is that, do we invent our purpose, or does purpose find us? You've got, I think
we have different views on it, but I think that's what's kind of really beautiful.
Okay.
It's like, for me, I love the power of intentions.
Yes.
Like, in the past couple of years, I've really noticed how powerful it is. I'll be like, I want to do this. And within like 1 or 2 weeks, that opportunity comes along and it presents itself. Like the Cirque, it was like, I want to be more on stage. I really like acting. I really like embodying another character and having that opportunity come along. And I even had a moment where I'm like, you know what, I love video. I want to get more involved in video and being part of that. Where can I find it? And then 2 weeks later, a film company called 1,000 Year Films comes along and shows its presence, being like, oh, hey, there's an opportunity to work with this film company in Calgary. And then again, being like, oh, this is really great, working with this film company, learning more about 3D and green screen and all that, working with them on that. And then again, having that moment, I'm like, you know what, I really enjoy acting. That part I really love, being on stage. And then again, 2 weeks later, like, hey, we have an opportunity for a role for you. So it's just like this like power of intention and like having it come true. But it's almost like making a wish, I guess, but like I always find like when you're really wanting something, having that intention come through is like from the heart.
Yes.
It's not just necessarily from the mind, but it's like this all-encompassing feeling from the soul, and having this opportunity present itself. But it's still a choice. Like I didn't have to choose these opportunities, even though I've asked for them.
No.
But I always thought that the intention, because I put it out there, they did present themselves. But it's also acknowledgement of like, it's a choice.
Yes.
You get to choose if you want to do it. You get to choose how much work you want to put into it and effort you put into it. Because it's still work, but it's good work. It's work that's fulfilling and satisfying.
Yes.
And I'm finding like those kind of intentions keep bringing about beautiful things. Like this year, I'm been more again being like, oh, I really want to connect more with my permaculture community, and I've always loved gardening and that kind of stuff. And like, yeah, I want to be more connected with that. And then it's happened quite a few times this year, and like even today, meeting people who are working on vertical gardens. I'm like, this is amazing. This is what I wished for. And now it's like these opportunities keep coming along to
have this
learn
vision
more
of you
about it.
sitting in the garden, because you're like,
maybe that's where I'll meditate.
You're 9 months pregnant, sitting in the garden, pulling weeds, crawling along. I like getting right down, on the ground.
Yeah, me too. I'll even take my shoes off and sometimes just garden barefoot. Like I love that feeling.
Yeah, earthing.
Yeah.
My little meditation stools would be good in the garden, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
We could actually have one and move along the rows. And
actually, this would be great now that you're saying that. So many times I'm like bent over and you get kind of sore.
Yeah. So I love what you're saying about intention. We are co-creating, and I think the closer we are to living our purpose, the more quickly things appear, or if if the magic ingredient is love, so if we're in service, I think that love really makes shit happen.
Definitely.
We could write that down. Love makes shit happen. Anyway. So yeah, and
I think that's just a great slogan.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great what you're doing. Do you love what you're doing for work?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel really fortunate. I am a strong believer in what I like to call the birthright gift. Something that you're born with, it comes naturally to you, and if you can really honor it and find that. Then you'll be happy doing it for the rest of your life. And even as a child, I loved coloring and kind of laying things out and designing. The funny thing is when I colored, I always had to have everything nice and precise and color in the lines and depict what I saw in nature exactly on paper. So I think that's why I chose graphic design, and that's why it comes so naturally for me. I'm a natural creative. In fact, I have so much creativity sometimes. I have so much projects, or so many projects on the go, because there's just so much I want to create and do. but I find at times it might be exhausting, but I'm still so in love with what I do, and I don't think I'll ever stop what I'm doing.
So what programs do you use in Photoshop?
Yeah, I use all the Adobe software, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro are my main ones, and then I'm getting more into web development and design, so Dreamweaver, WordPress, that kind of stuff, but my favorites,
I can't help but think
Photoshop and Illustrator.
You're going to come and help us. I have this, like, oh my gosh, we need all those skills here. Anyway, we'll talk.
Yeah, let me know. Let's talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I'd love to help.
Yeah, because you've got so much free time.
Yep, I got tons of it, but I fill up.
Yeah, I'm kidding. You don't have any free time, do you? Well, after the 6th of April, you'll have.
Yeah, it's going to be a really busy next 2 weeks.
Yeah, crazy.
But I still love it. Like I work full time, and I also have my own freelance company on the side that I'm getting more into again, because I love working with people, and I love being creative. Like I need that outlet.
Nice. Well, I was just sharing with you. You know, I have this whole vision. Of lifting the planet, the vibration of the planet one meditator at a time, and helping people create meditation spaces, making meditation easy and inviting for everyone, and I think that it's a huge vision, and helping people become more conscious of where their beliefs have kept them small. I mean, if one of us can be an Elon Musk, then all of us can. Do you know what I mean? It's not that that we're somebody's that much smarter, and maybe there's some of that, but I think it's a lot about our belief in ourselves and our belief in their connection with the universal intelligence, and our ability to visualize the finish, what it is that we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to carry that message to more and more people, that we can all wake up.
Well, this kind of goes into what you're expressing. Like, my idea was like power of intentions and like creating it through wanting. But you're also mentioning that maybe this idea of being here and creating is not really something that we think about, but it's just like tapping into connection to that source. I wonder if Elon Musk is one of those people that just says tapping into something.
Yes, yeah.
Like it's time to tap into this certain type of technology and to move forward into this, and just having that information revealed through somebody.
Yes, but and saying that, I think that we can all do that if we take the time to connect. Often I think that our conditioning is we came out of a world of fear, not going to get enough, going to lose something, those kind of things, and maybe it's just me, but and I think that if we in the world of plenty, like endless abundance in our whole imagination, then we just have to imagine what it is we want to be, do, or have, and we can do that.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer that fear is self-created. Fear doesn't actually exist. Like we create fear. We also have instinctive fear, right? Because you look at animals and they have instinctive fear that's just naturally embodied in them to react to a situation.
Yeah, don't put my hand on the hot stove.
And we have that too. But I think the one beautiful thing that we have is we also have the consciousness to understand fear and how we've created fear. So yes, there's good embodied fear that's just naturally a part of us, instinctively, to exactly not burn yourself or to dodge out of a car that's about to hit you if you can.
Yeah.
But there's subconscious or conscious fear that we create, and I find that hinders a lot of people moving forward in things.
Because sometimes when fear comes, it comes with a vision. If I'm afraid of something, I can see it in my mind, and so what happens is the visualization of the thing I'm afraid of actually creates the thing I'm visualizing. Do you know what I mean? So we bring it about, and then we're like, well, see, I was afraid of that, and it did happen.
But again, is that
That's
the
us
fear
creating it.
is the intention. You created
Yes, yeah.
that to happen
Yeah,
by the
fear
intention
sets in
created by
motion
fear.
the
Yeah.
circumstance. So I think that the way out of it is to connect with I call them higher power, or God consciousness, or universal intelligence, or whatever it is that however we want to describe that essence that we're all part of, and sometimes feel disconnected from, so yeah, that's what, and I think that I believe when we go to your show, and maybe I'm making too much of it, but I remember the times I've been there. There's an energy there, and it's a higher vibration, like a vibration of love, and that you guys are all working together in love to create this collaboration,
I'm glad you can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's so powerful because our group, our team, we just put so much time and passion and love and energy into it. And I know when the day comes and we all see it come together, it's just like such an incredible feeling. Yeah. It's like that feeling of like, wow, like I can't believe we created this. Like even our last show, once the stage got put together, I had that moment like, I didn't even recognize the stage. I'm like, what? We put this together? Like, look what people created. Like, this is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's such a powerful feeling. And at the end of the night, when the show comes done and it's closed and it's over, you still have that moment of gratitude of like, wow, that went really well, and we did such a good job, and everyone had such a good time.
Everybody wins.
And everyone felt really good at what they did and what they created. Yeah, it's just such an incredible feeling. I'm really glad that you and I hope others are feeling that as well.
Well, you didn't prompt me to say that. I mean, that's what I feel at that show, and it's I see it as a community collaboration, and everybody, yes, I feel the love in it.
Yeah, and the great thing too is everybody that comes, they bring an essence to it as well. Like we have a lot of our patrons that come in, they get a...
Oh, you mean the guests?
Yeah, the guests. Like, they get to dress up and they get to feel like they're a part of it, and that's what we want too. And that was
I dress up as me.
And that's great. Come as you are. Come as you are, as long as however you want to be, right? Yeah. And we tell everybody that, you're definitely welcome to dress up however you want to be. If you want to be...
It's fun.
A clown or...
All the burners come and wear their funny hats, and God bless them all.
Or if you want to come just as you are, and I think that really brings a presence to our...
So the show moves into the audience in a way, because the audience become part of the show by how they show up.
That was the idea, is like when the night comes and the circus is over, what happens behind the stage, or what happens behind the closed curtains, and everybody gets to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted. So by allowing people to dress up and come to our show, then they get to feel like they're a part of it. And honestly, some people have come and they've outdone us. Like there's some guests that come in with such amazing, beautiful, elaborate costumes. I'm like, damn.
You hear that, you guys? We're gonna dress. We're gonna dress up for Cirque.
Yeah, you gotta outdo us. Outdo us this time.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the best part.
Okay, well, dress me up too then.
Yeah.
I can do some stuff.
Wear some wacky hats and whatever you want to wear. But I think that's my most favorite part, is just seeing what people bring. Because they are a part of it. They're a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Without them, the show wouldn't really happen. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fun. How many in the company, you think?
Oh, you're gonna make me count this right now?
No, there must be 40 or 50.
Let's say there's like, on average, like 12 to 15 core members.
Yes. That
really put all this together, and then with our volunteers and people who come in, and then our performers and stuff. Yeah, you're looking at to 40 to 50 people.
Wow. So it must be crazy in the back.
The day of the show, I would say 50 to 60.
Yeah, broken zippers and all
because we have like the core team, then we have our performers, we have our volunteers, we have the people that come in and do hair and makeup for all the performers, and then we have the people who come in and set up the stage. Because usually we'll bring in like other companies to come do the trussels and the sound and stuff like that. So during the day it's a very, very busy place.
Who does the sound? Like PK?
Yeah, we get PK to come in and do the sound.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
we got to make sure we have that nice heavy bass in there. Yeah. Oh, they produce such fantastic equipment, so they're a really great company to work with
they're good
as well.
at what they do.
Yeah, and they always do a great setup for us, so it's nice to not have to worry about that.
You know who I saw at the Palace years and years ago? You might not even know this guy, Billy Idol. You've ever?
I'm just kidding.
Billy
I know who he is.
Do you?
Yeah.
He did a song called White Wedding. And
that's a classic. Everybody knows that song.
Yes, and I was up on the second or third balcony, and Billy started singing, and I was with a group of people where there was some corporate thing, you know, and I thought, I got to go, and I spent, like, Billy did about an hour and a half show, like nonstop, and it, for me, it was like, it was a big night for me. It was like earth changing, you know, because he put so much energy in, and he's right on the stage, right there, you know, and I love that hall. It's a beautiful, you know, venue. It's one of the nicest older venues we have in the city, and you know, you guys picked such a great spot to do that. Yeah,
and they've been great to work with as well.
Have they?
Yeah.
Did the Flames have that for a while? Like,
well, it was Flame Central for
Yeah.
a while. I don't really know
what happened
how
there?
all that works and how it delegates, or if it's the same owner and they just kind of switch things around.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's another side of the story I'm not aware of.
All right. Well,
but no matter what, we've always been able to do a show there. I definitely like it as it is now, because it's very more of like the original Palace
yes.
that I remember.
Yeah.
And it works a lot better with our decor, because now we can just make it full on Cirque.
Yeah.
Where we used to have to work around the flame stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone,
Oh,
because they used to
great.
have that big giant C at the top of the ceiling.
Yeah.
They kept a few things there. They have this really great LED banner that goes around the stage. That's great, because we can create our own graphics for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to help Cirque with a lot of the graphics and
Yeah, you're quite talented.
design for them this year, so it's been a lot of fun.
You have creativity in your bones.
Yeah, it like pours out. I literally feel a little crazy if I don't have something to work on, a
Nice.
project.
Yeah.
It's funny, because I'm like,
We're going to help you with that.
I'm like, oh, if I only had more free time. But I'm like, wait a minute, if I have free time, I fill it up with
More stuff.
something to do. Yeah, I'm always
You've
busy.
got something to do coming. You got a baby coming. That's the ultimate creation.
Right now, it's super easy. All I have to do is hang out and eat. And
but that is the ultimate
it
creation.
does its own work.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's taking care of itself. But pretty soon it'll be screaming at you. You know, feed me.
Yeah.
Change my diaper.
I'm looking forward to that.
I know. I bet you are. You're going to be a great mom.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm really looking forward to having another little person in my life and
My daughter had twins.
raising a family. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not having twins for my first one.
Yeah. She did. She had a boy and a girl. And
Oh, that's amazing,
yeah,
though.
so she had her first one and her last one at the same time.
That's so cool. You know, me and my husband, we were open to anything. We're like, you know, if it was a boy, if it was a girl, if it was going to be twins,
Of
like
course,
as
yeah.
long as they're in good health, that's what matters. Yeah.
What's your husband's name?
Tim,
Tim.
Yeah.
Will he be at the show?
he will be.
Does he do anything in the show, or is he support you
He
there?
comes for fun.
Does he?
Yeah, and he's a great person for support. Yeah,
Yes.
he's always at our shows. But yeah, he comes for fun with friends and
Fun.
gets videos of me, I hope.
Yeah. Hi, Tim. We look forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Tim will watch.
Yeah, of course.
He better. Oh, fun. So thank you, so much for coming in. And,
Well, thanks for asking me.
Spending the time with us, and I'm thrilled to meet you and get to know you better, and to get your commitment on meditation, 10 minutes a day.
I am going to do it.
Are
'Cause
you?
it's not just for me. It's for
Yes.
it's for our little one.
Yeah. Do you sing to him?
I sing in the car
Yes.
secretly. No one hears me, and sometimes I sing at home.
What do you mean secretly? I'll bet you have a wonderful voice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
I really enjoy singing.
Yeah.
I'm too shy to sing in front of other.
Yeah, I
in front
wasn't
of
going to
other
ask you
people
to sing
by
right
that.
now, but I think singing to our babies is just really cool. And I remember not so much with my first two. I don't think I was as conscious then of the possibilities. But with my third guy, I sang to him a lot, as you know. I was the dad singing to him when he was still in his mum, you know, and it was a fun thing to do. It was my way of communicating with him, because you know.
I love that.
Yeah. So maybe Tim will sing.
Oh, he has a wonderful voice.
Is he?
Yeah.
Get him real close.
Yeah.
They can
I'll get him to
sing
sing.
your belly, and sing to your boy. I'll bet he's a boy.
It is a boy.
Oh, is it a boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we found out last Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everyone kept asking me, like, don't you want to wait for the surprise? I'm like, it's exciting for me to know.
Yes.
Like, now I get to
Yeah.
know. We're keeping the name a surprise, though, for everybody
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Herman.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
An old name. Herman's an old name. Anyway, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you
for coming
as well.
in.
This is really neat to be here. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's really great to
Thanks
get
for
to know you.
allowing me to share our vision, and I'm, you know, I feel supported by your, you know, your love of the idea of what we're doing, and so thank you for that. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, you didn't tell me I was crazy.
No. I'm going to look like deer in the headlights a little bit. What? You're doing what? No, I love your guys' vision and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to share. And I'm a strong believer that if we can raise the vibration just globally, it can change a lot.
We can.
Yeah.
And we really can.
And just shift that energy.
Yeah.
Because like right now we're just bombarded by such negativity around us. And that's one thing I really enjoyed about the law of attraction, is they're talking about how sometimes it's okay to disconnect yourself from like the news and all that negative stuff and kind of focus on the positivity, because that brings up your vibration. And it's not that you're being naive and not wanting to know what's going on in the world, but sometimes you just need that little bit of break. And I've been in that moment before where I was just so heavily involved in like this kind of like activist community and society, and it just watching all this stuff, it like really brought me down to the point of like there is no hope in the world. And it's like you really got to pull yourself out of that and know that there's lots of people who want change. It's just a matter of bringing all those people together to create that change. And right now there's so many individuals who want change, and I think by what you're doing we're going to bring that community closer and closer together, and hopefully grow that and make people realize that you know there's tons of people out there that want this to happen and want good things to occur and positivity and love to grow. And I think by making people feel like they're not alone in that vision,
love
it's
is
going
the
to help
answer.
really bring things together. So it's exciting.
Yes, yeah.
And I know for meditation, like if we have more group meditations, it just makes it easier for people to get into it and to connect. And then also, again, create communities. People don't like doing things alone.
Yes, yeah. We meditate here on Monday nights at 6:30. If you want to ever come and sit with us.
There we go.
Like every Monday night we're here, and we invite everybody to come and join us. And we have, if there's too many people for this space, we have a bigger space that we go to, and in the back, and sit and meditate together. So
I love to see it get big enough that we have to all squish in the back, 'cause that's a huge space back there.
We want to squish them in for meditation. We'll do it. So thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for
thank
coming.
you as well.
And I'm happy to meet you. And hopefully, if you want to, we can maybe have the people that you talk to from Cirque come before the event. And even though I know it's going to be a sellout, it would be great to have them come and just tell people about, you know, how inspired they are and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I'd really love for you to bring them in, because then we could really share the vision with everybody.
Yes. Would you come too?
Yeah, I'll come again.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. And if, you know, we have 3 or 4 of them come, that would be great. We'll make it work in here, and yeah. Okay.
That'd be great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Can I
much.
give you a hug?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone.